Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. With the grace of Allah, we continue and we start our episode number 8 of the Seerah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to complete all 29 parts. Inshallah, I'm literally just going along with the days and see how far we can get. But inshallah, I like a challenge, inshallah. So we continue from the first 3 years of preaching. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was only preaching italuka ya goro. Goro Malik namasil Arkam ibn Abi Arkam. His name is Arkam, the son of Arkam or Abba. So it's all within the family. So tanore emone gora silikta ektuk mani oto khaba shuru for khanda to nai ektuk dur ase. So ono aile khodiyato nai hash right. So ekta tain dan khorilis Allah Rasul aile ami khushi hoilam. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to go there every night. Olan khoriya ani kisu manush zara Allah Rasulur strong supporters zara to naturally zara tara already Allah Rasulur beboar tara zaner suto khalo. Remember Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's childhood friend, and tanor tain Allah Rasulur boyshor maze beshmol matru 2 years tain 2 bochor suto. So they grew up together. He already knew that Allah Rasul Nabi Sara kuchu ita harta nahi. All characteristics, he had the amal, everything. He had all that great personality. He knew. He never lied. I mean, tanar sinta silze. I mean, ofekka huram ze erdin ten khoita ten Allah Nabi, because that's how much. I knew he was too special, too unique. So then Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu accepted Islam, and then Ashara Mubashara, after shashta horon zan. Sahaba ikram namuzo bani khura amra lagi usit. It's important that we memorize the names of the companions. Khom se khom ashara mubashara zaid dosh sahabi sahaba dunya takht Allah Rasul tara naam dori khoya hoisen fil jannah. Abu Bakr fil jannah, Umar fil jannah, Uthman fil jannah, hoisen era besti Ali radiyallahu anhu fil jannah, Talha fil jannah. And then you got Abu Ubaidah fil Jannah, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf fil Jannah. Then you got Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas fil Jannah, Sa'id Umar radhiyallahu anhu born in Zamai. So he said fil Jannah. And now he was going through all the names and he's saying all of them, they are best. We should try our best. So era shob duki so in khene tarato mani why are they so shummanito? Because ekebare the shumoy dangerous shumoy tara Islam ground horsoi. Only Amrazan Musliman, alhamdulillah, swab faimu, but he was a lot of and that was at the beginning. So like that, everybody accepted Islam. Bilal radiallahu anhu accepted Islam. His conversion wasn't easy, because a lot of people look at they were converting to Islam. And Bilal radiallahu anhu, he was under a slave called Umayyah ibn Khalaf. So his master was called Umayyah ibn Khalaf. He was one of the richest men in Mecca, very wealthy, very prominent person, figure, and he used to buy slaves all the time. But Bilal was a special slave, and it so happened, long story short, it so happened that when Bilal radiallahu anhu accepted Islam, Tanar Khano ikan naichil, the Amar slave, Amare na hoya, Amar onumati na loya, kun shawashe, then Islam grohan holla. So he grabbed him and said, "Ikan shotikni, is it true? Amizahan hundram." So obviously he said, "Afne to amar master hisabe zahan khoiba ami mani, but amar ruh itailo itallar gese. This belongs to Allah. Ikta afnar control na ikan hun yaru gusho digestan." So then he obviously said, "Acha, amar control na ide hai mun amar control na kina." So then he got him outside, laid him down on the 50-degree sun, shobe dekhta. And then he said, "Ar ilan mani ita lesson hoito. The khewzun Musliman hoy, ola namra shaste hon." Obviously, Bilal radhiyallahu anhu he said, "Tano kheo nai. Mani khoita zene ami o family bongsho, Banu Hashim, Banu Adi, Banu Makhzum, different family hol. Tanto kun family to tain za zeta horbar kholita." So he put him on the ground, and they tortured him so much that his skin began to burn, from the sand. And then they placed that and the horta nahori because of his time satyaida. So then they placed that on top of him, and they kept saying to me, Allah reject horo, Islam reject horo, arho tumi arbar murti fuzat, Lat oilo tumar God, Lat Uzza Manat, hota borobor naam hoira kita. They say you worship these gods, renounce আল্লাহ বাদ দাও যখন কইলা আল্লাহ বাদ দাও আমরা লগা লগ আমরা তোমার এটা সপ্তাহ শাস্তি আমরা স্টপ করলিম তোমার শাসন হইতো না দেখরা তাই যে সাচ্চাইরা তখন আমি সুযোগ পাইছি সাচ্চাইরা যখন তো কইলি তা না সবার সামনে জুড়ে এখন আমরা শুনতাম তো অনেক তাই কুচ্ছ হইলে না অত সময় বাদে তোরা মুকুল চই না ও তাই একটু খুশি হয়ে গেছিলাম মুকুলিরা জলদি কুচ্ছু হইতা আপনারা সব দোলাও সব নিরায় হুনো আমরা সব শুনতাম আর সময় দেখবেন ক্লোজ টু হেম তার মুখে দিয়ে মাত্র একটা শব্দ বাড়িছে আহাদ চলিছে because he cannot worship Lat, Uzza, Manat. These are বিভিন্ন gods all. So obviously he doesn't believe in so many gods. He said, look, I only believe in one. So Arbite hoy ahad. Kul huwa Allahu ahad, one. So he kept saying ahad. So when he kept saying that, they realized that Bilal Adnan was very strong in his iman, that you couldn't shake them. He's not shaken at all. They were shocked. Even the Zara Lukaya Musamman said, Allah, that's pretty strong, that. I don't think anybody can hack that. And he's still saying, Ahad. He's not rejecting the faith. And then, he shastid dekhe to shobar dukh lagse, especially Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu. He used to free slaves a lot. He was a tradesman, a businessman. So what he did was, he went to Umayyah bin Khalaf and he said, look, we do business together, we know one another, right? Let's do a trade deal right now. He goes, no, I want to trade khora zaituna. I want shasti diram. You can't do trading now. He goes, nah, ita to me, bala have to trade diram. His slave to Allah ki worthless. You can't do anything with him. Look, tumhare bizzat khullar ahad hoya. So he's saying, ekam kulla tumhare itta karo strongest slave sange se hasil. He said, I'll give you another slave. This slave wasn't a Muslim, obviously. And he said, take him in replace. I'll swap him. So, and when obviously Umayyah, he knew his slaves in it, and he realized, okay, this is a really good deal. And then in the end, he accepted it. He goes, okay, I'll accept it. Some people say the story different. They say he offered some coins and so on and so forth. But actually, the more authentic story is actually exchanged him for a slave. So when he exchanged him for a slave, he said, right, tell Yaza, take this person worthless for me because I'm not kunu worth on it. So then subhanallah, Bilal radhiyallahu anhu was freed by Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu, which means Bilal radhiyallahu anhu zazat swab ase ita Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu. It's amazing. Otamra tu kaita kila namra how you can gain swab. Astad dunya maze muazzin number 1 muazzin ala Bilal radhiyallahu anhu. Uze azan desi ita Bilal radhiyallahu anhu swab paina. Ufre Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu, he gets all that reward as well. That's why Abu Bakr Siddiq, he wasn't like a businessman khalid dunyawi nahi. He was thinking for akhirat, deen as well. Sahaba ikram khalid taralan tu kaida how they can do good business ta akhirat maze shobse beshi currency amra paita. And Umar radhiyallahu anhu barbar hoita ami bore paisi na kotto bar ami competition horsi Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu loge ekbar tan buchila tan win khorili bai ta hunchini apnar ঘটনা একটু লম্বা ঘটনা ও তাবুকর যুদ্ধ Allah Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said sanda koro, who can give the most sanda dorkar. And Umar radhiyallahu anhu at that time mani o matro tan profit ayamaise. He said o hol shom ami Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu tanor fisone ami try kori tan takar beshi bala amar prothom kintu pari na. Every time ami khorat kiyao tan khali amar bit khori na kintu aisku ami win kormu because aisku amar profit aise ar ami jani tan otota mal nai ar ami I'm going to give so much. So Tabukar Juddar Mazid, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he gave us so much wealth. And ita dekhe Allah Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam tain prosnore ultaili soin ultani mani ikan jigaison as a khoto disso jigaison khoto thoi aiso which in a difference ase. So he said malancho thik ase kintu goro hotan thoi aiso ma abqaita li ahlik, what have you left for your family? আমার ফ্যামিলি লাগি আমি তো আইছি সমান ওজে দেখাই তো আমি অর্ধেক লই আইছি সাজতা আবু বকর সিদ্দিক রাদিয়াল্লাহু আনহু এসে তাইন লই আইরা ওনে তো মালর মেজারমেন্ট নাই মানে তাইন সাইরাতে আল্লাহ তে দেখা যার তো এত্তা কি বেশি আমি দিছি তে ঠিক আছে আমি বইয়া আমি থামি আমি দেখি আজকে আমি উইন করলিলাম সো আবু বকর সিদ্দিক রাদিয়াল্লাহু হি কেম মাল সামনে আল্লাহ রাসূলুল্লাহ brought in front of him and said, ইয়া রাসূলুল্লাহ ওগুন দিলাম আপনারা লাগি তাবুকর যুদ্ধ লাগি Ya Abu Bakr ma abqaita li ahlik, oh Abu Bakr তোমার ফ্যামিলি লাগি কিতা তুই আইছো? So he said আমার ফ্যামিলি লাগি একমাত্র আল্লাহ রাসূল ওই সব তাজাজ তাজিল হইছে And then Umar radhiyallahu anhu din thain nijeo hoira ami din take ami give up ami ar parchi na excuse me parchi na kono din partam na tande beat kortam. So then he won. And anyway, coming back to the story, so Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu bought the freedom of Bilal radhiyallahu anhu. Then what happened was there was different prominent figures. Musab ibn Umayr, he was a rich guy. He used to wear all the richest clothing, smell, perfume, you name it. He used to wear all the lavish stuff. He had a lavish life. But when he heard about Islam and the preaching of the Quran, he also accepted and he started to go to that house, Darul Arqam, that secret house. So when he started to go there, he didn't want tan mare tan kubshum man horta no ikan tan janon maizun hunoin ma kub bezaruiba jamizane Islam grown horsi. So what he did was aglo saita and tanor logorezon Uthman ibn Talha in mani bartamane in musulman nayaki Uthman radhiyallahu anhu. Uthman name onek asla Uthman ibn Maz'un in asla musulman. Uthman ibn Affan ishma musulman. Uthman ibn Talha, he wasn't a Muslim at the time. In fact, tanar namaf na hunta farain time Kaaba Sharif or Zede Safi ita tanor daitto ase Uthman ibn Talha. So remember this name because it's Fathe Makkah shumoy arbatan namaibo Allah Rasul Safi lagi dahwa ubicharan mani his name will come again. So what happened was tiny ta dekia in the haraimi taino to mani Musab ibn Umayr tanor mare ame sinam gya hoiram kya. So he went and told, he called and he snitched on him, and his mother obviously abandoned him. Khobar that shopta tomar khafo everything, stripped him. Said, you're not going to live lavish life anymore. Obviously he didn't care, but he gave you up for Islam. But then everyone said, look at this man, he used to wear such a nice, and now look at him, he's been stripped from everything. So people make great sacrifices. Then you had Ammar ibn Yasir was a slave. Banu Makhzum. Abu Jahl era Banu Makhzum. Walid ibn Mughira era Banu Makhzumi. Makhzum are Banu Hashim. Tara shob se shommanito. Banu Hashim ta Allah Rasulullah family. Banu Makhzum ilo Abu Jahl আর ওয়ালিদ ইবনে মুগীরা তারা মনে করতা বানু মাহজুম হলো সবচেয়ে উত্তম। সো অবশ্যই তারা গুছে উঠে গেছে যে সময় তারা শুনছেন আল্লাহ রাসূল সাল্লাল্লাহু আলাইহি ওয়াসাল্লাম কইরা আমি আল্লাহর রাসূল এখন একটা আমরা মানতে পারতাম না। আমি সরি কারণ তো আপনি আল্লাহর রাসূল বানু হাশিম থেকে আছি আল্লাহর রাসূল, সেটা আমরা বংশ আর গেল হই বুঝছেন। ও জেলে আরম্ভ হয়ে গেছে। অনেক মানুষ হন যে আবু জাহেল আসলে সারা মানে তার লাইফের মাঝে বিচারাই জানতা দা আল্লাহ রসুল করি, কিন্তু মানাত নাই ওই জোর কারণে ইনসামের কারণে। It's a very dangerous thing. So then what happened was Tara Shara family, Ammar ibn Yasir, they were obviously slaves. Tara de Bilal radiyallahu anhu laham taintanu bahariyan se. When they came to find out was era Musliman hoise. So Ammar Yasir or wife Yasir radiyallahu anhu, his wife was Sumayya radiyallahu anha. So Sumayya radiyallahu anhu asla ma, Yasir asla baf, atano selenam Ammar. So Ammar is Sahabi, obviously two slaves marrying each other, and they had a child. So now this child, Tarar mani customer was a taino ye slave. Mantam nai, that he's a free person. So now these three are being tortured, and they tortured Sumayya radiyallahu anha the most. Now she was very strong. In fact, Tanre Tara, they were beating her so much. Abu Jahl beat her so much, and Islam reject her ballagi. To the point where Abu Jahl realized, look, আমি শরম পাইলাম, বিলাল রাদিয়াল্লাহু আনহু তো ফারসুন না, আমি ওই পাই পারলাম না বেটি মানুষে। So Sumayya radiyallahu anhu, he was beating her so much to the point where tanre shahid hol Islam. So that was the long story short. So she became shaheed, the first shaheed, Islamar foila shaheed mohila, Sumayya radiyallahu anha. We have to remember that for the rest of our life. The first person to accept Islam, mohila, Khadija radiyallahu anha. First person to die for Islam, Sumayya radiyallahu anha. It says a lot how much women gave up their life. So then they also killed Yasir in front of the son. So can you imagine, Ammar is traumatized, and they said to Ammar, you're next. আর একমাত্র তুমি যদি আল্লাহ বাদ দাও আর তোমার যে রসুল মানছো তার যখন গাল্লাও তা সারিয়া দিলে। So that was the condition. So that এই অবস্থা দেখিয়া, obviously he was young, তার মুখে দেখিছু তাই হইলিসলা তারা যখন হুনবার হইলিছে they let him go. He can only obviously one time khandon arambha hoson yallam kita hollam zoldi time maaf saizan Allah Rasul kise. And he said, look, I'm so sorry. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jo Quran Sharif ayat nazil hol listen. Zera force khoila kintu tarar hearter maze iman ase. Kan Allah Quran Sharif ayat Allah nazil hol listen, which means Allah confirm kora je tan actually iman te bor thik ase. Because you were forced, which now is a masla now. If somebody puts a gun to your head and said, renounce Islam, otherwise I'll shoot you, and somebody says, I renounce Islam, but you're still a Muslim in heart, that's jaiz, that's accepted. Only time jaiz na is in the jalaz ishma yahuibo, the Islam baddo, ishma hoitana baddila is ikintama dilorma ze iman, ikta hishma khamayatune, hishma na hoitoi bai, ita force. So anyway, so that's that time. So many people, they went through a lot of torture. It got to the point that Isham and Musliman were foilatin bachar was very difficult. So it got to a point that Tara Abu Talib or gise gya hoira, tumi khali tumhar nephew re support do. Tumhar nephew re khali support thanre dilau ka hawla kori amra gise, amra jesta kori khormune ba apne thanre sort out horoka. Ana thain one kita hoita, khoin tumra sarido kare ba amar ufre, ami jesta kori khormune. Anjeni. Tikan hune tara khushi hoye geche. Sari dilam apnar ufre, apni murabbi manush, anjeni boshka manush amra sai na, আপনারও কোনো ক্ষতি হইতো আপনি আমরা ধর্ম আপনি ইসলাম গ্রহণ করছো করে আমরা কোনো এখান পাইছি না যে আপনি আপনার বাতিজারে ফলো করো support though into you've not accepted his religion, even they know that. So they're saying, look, we respect you, you're on our creed, so you deal with your nephew. He said, leave it with me. And he leave it with me, obviously he's not going to hand over his nephew, so he's not obviously done anything about it. And they came again, pressure dida kitaba batizare sartai nai ni yoto support do khane kita khorra tanoni আমরা উফরে খালি গাইল আমরা বাফসা সাইজ একটা খড়িয়েছেন ইটা বলে রং আচ্ছা হোক আসাইন ইটা কেউ মানবো নি ওথার আরম্ভ করছে so for them it was a big biaddobi. They said ইটা আমরা মানতাম না আগে আমরা এক আসলাম মক্কা শরীফবাসী এক ধর্ম অনে থাইন ইখান লইয়া আমরা সিথরি ডিভাইড হলিছে. So they got really upset and they said, hand him over to us. Azun hand over horona te apne apnar batiza shoho problem hoibo. Kiba apnara dongsho hoibe ba amra dongsho hoibe mail lage dibo. Tane ikan boyeshko manush ikan hunia to kilan lage nani. Tane hoizen acha matram. Ona ta age tara mani on tara bad diraw na. So he went and he sat down privately with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Can you imagine that conversation? Is a difficult one. All his life he supported his nephew. And now he has to make a choice. So he sits down and he says to his nephew, he says, my dear Batiza, or he calls him son, he says, Tara marufre pressure dira. They're saying, tumar oze dormo zehta tumi shuru horso, ami tumare 100% support koriyaira. One eranu manen na. So he's saying, they're not accepting, what am I to do? So he says, আমিও বয়স্ক আমার এই শরীর শক্তি রয়েছে না যেন হল সময় আপনার সাপোর্ট দিতাম কিন্তু সাপোর্ট আমি দিলাম মানে আমার ভাই দিস আইয়া তাই না হয়ে রাখি আমার ভাই দিস আইয়া দয়া করে যদি আজেলান আমার কষ্ট হয় না ছাড়ি দিলাম আপনার উপরে বুঝলি he's saying I'm leaving it to you জেলান আমার উপরে কষ্ট হয় না when he said that the Prophet got really upset and at the same time he got really fired up as well. In other words, the Prophet saw for the first time he's indicating, just stop. Have pity on me. I'm an old man. Don't burden this old body. When amar khamota zotan amar shakti na, he goes, as much as I cannot bear. Don't put me to that level. So then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said to him, look, he said to his uncle, Kathaina have to upset with him because tanizar sasai gan hoila. So tan hoila tara zuzin amare offer kor lite pare shuruzuzin ani amar daina to anite pare. If they can bring the sun in my right hand and sun zuzin amar bamato, if they can bring the moon and iktar mani ta Arabic phrase mani shara dunya jun amar offer korlai shuruz shoho sun shoho, that's what it means. So if they can bring the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left hand on the condition that ami Islam bad ditam o condition of reason tara amare olan offer kore, then I will never accept this condition. Not until that Kiba I Dormo Bijoyo becomes victorious. I'm not going to stop until Islam wins, or he gave the second option, or Ami Islam Ami spread Khorat Yami Nize Morizai. Oh, that's what the Prophet said, or I die in the process. Because so when he said that, Sasai Buzili said, Ar ikano maze kunu matya agwaya kunu ar lab nai. Then the Prophet was very clear. When ami ino kitabat ditam, apne jane zikaira bare. So ikan khoya dekhsoin sasaton achtige soin. So tain saida na sasai shorong paito yetana utia khandia Allah Rasul is crying zairagi. As he was walking, zaitagina ni dorzabai di, tain achtaili soin sasai. When futuba সাহাব আমার বাড়ি যাবে তানা দিলে ধরে গেছে তোমার যে চাচাই মূলটা কি তোমার সাপোর্ট দিছইন এবো সাপোর্ট দিবা তুমি চিন্তা করি না তাই চুজ করলিছে সো দ্যাটস আমরা ও সম্মান করি আবু তালিবের নাম লইতে সময় আমরা রাদিয়াল্লাহু আনহু কই না বিকজ কালিমার তো কোনো জো নাই দলিল নাই দ্যাট হি রিসাইটেড আমরা কোনো এটা আমরা ঈমান নাকি উই ডোন্ট সে এনিথিং ব্যাড অ্যাবাউট হিম Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about it, innaka la tahdi man ahbabta. Nishoy apne la tahdi, apne hidayat korte parta na man ahbab zare apnar পছন্দ মতো যারা মানুষ এরারও আপনি পারতেন তো পছন্দ মানে আমরা প্রমাণ পাইলাম যে আবু তালিব তার পছন্দ ব্যক্তি একজন আসলা হি ওয়াজ ইজ loved আল্লাহ রাসূল যারে পছন্দ করেন এখানে আমরাও পছন্দ করতাম we need to like him. What does it mean? Obviously we have to be very careful, we don't say anything ill. So he gave him full support till death. He's given his word now. অনে তারা চেষ্টা করত মারো কামটা কইছে তো ধ্বংস করলি আমরা আচ্ছা ঠিক আমি আসি লগে তানি মানি লিছে সো অবভিয়াসলি তারা ইকান হুনিয়া এখন তারা বেশি প্রেসার দিছে টাইমে দেই না লম্বা লম্বা ঘটনা but we'll carry this on next time that the more pressure comes about there আপনারা রাইবো all the different instances boycott after the 3 years তারা মানে মুসলমান হলো boycott করলি বাকি বয়কট বলতে আল্লাহ রসুল তার সারা ফ্যামিলি আবু তালিব সহ সব রে তারা এখানে দিয়া খেওয়ার লগে কোনো মাত নাই কিচ্ছু নাই বিগ বয়কট এটা খালকু ইনশাআল্লাহ আমরা উইল ক্যারি অন বিসমিল্লাহির রহমানির রহিম আলহামদুলিল্লাহি রাব্বিল আলামিন ওয়া লা আকিবাতু লিল মুত্তাকিন ওয়াস সালাতু ওয়াস সালামু আলা রাসূলিল কারীম নবী